Thank you very much, Achim. Now we need to vote on the activity report. So I would like to ask those who are in favor of this activity report to raise their hands, please. Thank you very much. Who is against? Any abstentions? So thank you very much. We just adopted the report, and I'm giving the floor to Rory. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I'd now like to ask the leader of the Socialists and Democrats in the European Parliament to come and tell us how you're going to turn our voting victory into substance in the European Parliament. Udo.
Bom dia, Lisboa.
Good afternoon, Lisbon. I don't know how to speak Portuguese, but here we all speak the same language. The language of socialists. The language of solidarity, justice, equality, and inclusion.
Dear friends, dear Sergei, I would suggest that we never ever worry about locations again. It's a splendid picture here. And we, my friends, from the group of the Socialists and Democrats, we feel absolutely well here. If you ask us, my comrades in the European Parliament and myself, whether we would like to have a five-star facility or a university, the decision is clear. We go to the university, we go here to Lisboa, because those places are more dynamic, they are more vivid, and they are more storytelling. I'm not really sure whether we are going to win the next European election in the five-star facilities. But, my dear friends, we have to win it in the universities and in the workplaces and in the schools and where the ordinary people are. There is the vote for socialist families, for us and for our comrades. My role today is to present the activity report, which is also printed out. This is a good habit for our political family. We can see what we did. My gratitude to all my comrades in the European Parliament, hard-working people, especially also my thanks to the Portuguese delegation, marvelous people, marvelous women, marvelous men, doing a great job. And you can find everything here. Let me point only to a couple of things we did, we are proud of, and we may be proud of tomorrow, because I think they are going to help us forward. Equal pay for equal work. Yes, we did it. Yes, we did it. And now we close the loopholes of the posting directive. And once we had that earlier, I'm pretty sure it would have been a different decision in the United Kingdom, because the right wing were lying to our people and our people were embarrassed. But now we have it. And you see in this example the close link between proper legislation on the European level and the impact on the development of our societies. More investment, yes, we did it. We had set up a European Fund for Strategic Investment, twice, 2 different steps to be taken, and it was us to shape it so that you can use it at the end of the day, Fernando, in the municipalities, because there is the need to invest, and here the money has to go to. We did it. And we promoted a greater flexibility in the implementation of the Stability and Growth Pact. We think it has to be reformed to give leeway for more positive investment, but we started to work and to improve on that. Yes, we fought fiercely against the greed in the financial markets, and we are still fighting for the deepening of the economic and monetary union, because we feel it is needing. You cannot save the Eurozone without deeper integration of our policy instruments. Yes, and we are in the forefront to fight cyber interferences. because we do not need the illiberal democracies. The next election will be a big fight of, on the one side, democratic sovereignty, and on the other side, those with the big pockets and the big money who would like to mislead their societies. We are fighting for migration in favor of humanitarian solutions, solidarity between member states, focusing on integration to our societies, on educational systems, on labor markets, and on municipalities, because here are the places, here is the location to integrate people. And please do us one favor. We had spoken about this in the presidency today. I know, against the backdrop of the different discussions in different member states, how difficult the issue is. But we are here in the country of Antonio Costa, but also in the country of Antonio Guterres. And the United Nations are right when they say you cannot solve migration on national ground. We need international activities. Please let us defend the migration compact of Antonio Guterres. He needs our support, dear friends. And let us fight the lies of the extreme right. It's not about obligatory systems. It's not about losing sovereignty in your countries. It's the fight for doing it together. It's the fight for multilateralism. And please believe me, if we do not defend the United Nations, nobody will defend the European Union. It's the same ground. It's multilateralism we have to defend. And we are the ones in the forefront. This is the pledge of my comrades, and this is only a short picture of our activities. But you know, as we know, that we are living in difficult times, that we are under pressure, that Europe is under threat. Putin on the one side, Trump on the other one. They don't like us for good reason. We are the area of freedom. We are the area of civic rights. We are the area of social rights. For good reason, they fear us. But now we have also internal enemies. What we detect today is the urbanization of the People's Party. Look what is going to happen in Austria under this so-called presidency. This is a shame, dear comrades, what they deliver. It's a shame. Turning their back on the United Nations, having Black Hawk helicopters rising against the so-called immigration refugees. They didn't see anybody, but they threatened Slovenia, our neighbor country, our friends in the European Union. I feel ashamed if I see this presidency in Austria, but we will fight them back and we will find better solutions. Yes, we know that we are in the forefront. The defenders of freedom and democracy, again, as always in history, will be the Social Democrats. So this is number one in our fight, and who could be better represent this fight than Franz Timmermans, who always was in the forefront of this fight during the last years in Brussels. But you know also that we have only then a chance to build new majorities if we radically change Europe. Europe has to be reshaped in the best interest of the ordinary people. And we know exactly, if we are disconnected with the ordinary people who work hard every day, then they fall victim to the right-wing extremists. And this is the very reason why we, the Socialists and Democrats in the European Parliament, tried to take a new direction during the last years. Yes, we say it's about the economics, but a new model of economic development. This new model of economic development can never ever be defined without the challenge to meet of that huge transformation in the environment, ecologicalization. We need to enter into the new period of having a good society where environment and economy are allies or not enemies. Yes, we know that this can only be done in a social, inclusive society where we care about labor and the perspectives of working people, and where we care about social inclusion and where we do not leave anybody behind. That is the very reason why we say in our reports, in our papers, we presented that today, it's about the United Nations Development Goals as our compass where we would like to develop towards. This is our instructive guidance, and we will deliver on that. But let me, with an eye on Paris, and with an eye what happened during the last days and weeks in France and also today, let me mention also the difference to President Macron of our movement. We welcomed him in the European Parliament. We said, okay, this is your historical victory that you protected Europe and that you protected France from Le Pen and the far right. But whether you are an ally or whether you are a competitor is your decision, because we know where we come from and where to go. We know exactly our map, we know our plan, we know our policy for the future, but you have to make this decision because you have not given proof that you would like to reform your social infrastructure for the best benefit of your ordinary people. It's you to decide, not us, because we are clear about the progressive Europe. And if I look at the Yellow Jackets movement and saw this morning the pictures, yes, I have to say, we have to stop that. We have to stop the violence in the street, but we have also to stop a policy that does not take respect of ordinary people's interest. You cannot do You do not lead your country into the future by top-down policies. You cannot convince people to go green if they are not able to tell their families how to make their ends meet in the middle of the month. And we are the only ones, dear friends, who have a holistic approach. We are the only ones thinking that together. We are the only ones in the best tradition of Antonio Guterres to say social policy, economic policy, environmental policy have to be mutually supportive. Only this is a progressive country. Only this is a progressive Europe. This is our fight. And here we are going. Let me be clear, whatever the backdrop war, that has to be clarified. Normally, police is not aggressive if there is no reason for being in this place, and I do not have to assess that. But when we see pictures of school kids kneeling in the schoolyard in front of the police officers like that, then we would like to say, please, all sides, this is not our Europe. We are fighting for a different Europe. We are not fighting for a Europe where you see school kids on their knees in front of the police. We are fighting for a Europe where you have a child rights guarantee, but back home you do have warm facilities, decent meals, a bright future, and where everybody counts, whatever the family income is. This is our Europe. This is our fight. We installed a forward-looking commission with Bonner Rasmussen and Luca Cazzeli as our leading experts. We invite you to join this discussion, and we hope to enrich and inspire the conversations also on national ground in our member family organizations and national parties. Let me finish by one idea. You know, the Socialists and Democrats, the European Parliament are a bunch of very ambitious people. They speak out, they tell their mind, and they do not hide with their opinions. This is my duty to do that today as well. I would say, if we have to face the challenge of today and tomorrow, we have also to radically change the structure of our organizations. This is great work, what the PSE is doing, but we have to live up to the new century. We have to open the doors, we have to open the windows, fresh air. Let's trust the militants, let's trust the activists, let's invite them for a dialogue. We need you, not only in this campaign, we need you always. And at the end of the day, that means we have to reform our structures, and the PSE has to become a membership party, dear friends, a membership party. Where you are in Athens, you are in Budapest, you are in Berlin, you are in Paris, you are in Lisbon. You sign membership in your respective party and they ask you 50 cents more voluntarily, and then you can join the European party family and you are a full counting member and you have friends everywhere in Europe. This is the way to go. This is what we have to do. I wish us luck. We will have success when we are united. Obrigado. Juntos vamos lutar.
Together, we will continue to fight. Thank you.